Hello there, I'm Dave from Dynobike, and today we have a Triumph Street 660. Obviously it's the restricted version. This is an early model 660, 2016 to be exact. This is the first one of this model I've actually seen. It doesn't have a fly-by-wire technology on it. It has the old traditional cable operated throttle, which means that when we talk fly-by-wire versus cable, it means that the cable are running to the throttle bodies and they are opening the throttle plate proportionally as you turn the throttle on the handlebar. The later model ones, which have what we call fly-by-wire, they don't have that cable coming in to the throttle. It is electronic, so when you turn the throttle 50%, for example, you won't necessarily get 50% at the throttle plate because it is being controlled by the ECU and all the parameters that have already been preset. So anyway, that's that little bit of trivia. This is a cable operated throttle, so we're going to find the throttle plate and remove it so that this bike has full throttle. Then we will tune it to suit, put it on the dyno and compare it with what it actually is now to see how much better this bike goes. Right then, so throttle bodies are out and we're looking at them now as we would see them if they were fitted to the manifolds. Right, so the backside is facing up, the airbox would screw directly on top of that manifold there that you are looking at. The throttle restriction is, let me just get something to point at there. The throttle restriction is actually on here. This is where it is. This is a little screw. I'll turn that around for you so you can see that a bit better. Yeah, so there's the screw that's holding the plate in right there. So we need to get that off. As I said, it is a security bolt. We can't just put an Allen key in there or whatever and undo it. It won't undo. Now, a few ways of going about this. You could just drill the head off that bolt and then the plate will fall off and we'll have full throttle. Right? Or we could take the entire throttle plate assembly off, of which you can see there's two screws there. We can take those two screws off, which will remove the entire cable mounting boss throttle stop from the throttle bodies, and then we are free to work that screw loose either by putting, maybe put a pair of pliers on it or something, see if we can get it loose without fear of damaging the throttle bodies. So I'm going to go with option 2, undo those screws, and then I'm free to play with the plate and get that screw out. Yes, and by the way, the other thing I forgot to show, which I should have shown you, purely out of interest, if I hold that up there and turn this throttle, let's see how far it actually turns. That's it. That's as much as we're getting on this. So it's not a great deal. Not even half throttle blade. Right. Right. So I've undone the screw. It turns out it was not that difficult to actually undo. I just used these pliers, little set of pliers. They're adjustable. These are snap-on jobbies, these ones. They're really good for gripping those little screws. So if you've got a pair of those, something similar with good teeth on them, you'll be able to grip that screw and undo it. It's not all that tight. If you haven't, then I would suggest a little chisel and a hammer. Just gently tap the edges of it and it will come loose for you pretty easily. So that's the, oops, there we go, that's the plate there that's stopping the throttle from turning. Put that on there, back on now, and we should see that the throttle blades are opening fully. Right, let's get this out of the way. Throttle plate's back on. Let me just turn this so we should see that throttle opens fully. Look at that. Lovely. Yeah. Okay, so that is the restriction removed. Right then, so I'm putting these back in here now. You'll notice that I've got some paper towels on these intake manifolds, and if you're doing this yourself, please make sure you cover these up so nothing can fall in there, because believe me, something falls down there and there happens to be a valve open, which is likely on one of them, and it goes into the engine, you've got some problems on your hand from there on. The other thing that I just wanted to mention is that if you're not switched on with working on motorcycles, or you're not very mechanically confident, or you lack a little bit of experience, please don't try to do this yourself. There is a fair bit to it. There's a lot of cables on here that have to be reconnected to it, as you can see here. Where are they? I've lost them all now. Here we go. There is a whole bunch of cables here that have to go back on the throttle bodies. It's very easy to get them wrong. For example, the ones that are going on each one of the injectors, if you swap them around and put them on the wrong injectors, then the phasing's all wrong and the bike won't run properly. The rest of them are pretty self-explanatory. There's only one plug that's going to go into that, so that's pretty straightforward. And the same with this one down the bottom here. But they're sort of all laid out so that it's relatively straightforward and common sense kind of thing to remove and fit all of this stuff. But like I say, if you're not really comfortable working on motorcycles and you don't have very much experience, please don't try to do this yourself. You'll likely get yourself in a lot of trouble. Save yourself the headache. Take it to a bike shop. Show them this video if you like. That'll give them you know, pretty good idea on what it is they need to do, and they'll be able to do it for you. Alright, so I've got the throttle bodies back on, everything's connected up, and all I've got left is the air filter and the lid to go on. Before I do that, let's just make sure that everything is working. It's a good idea to do this now before you go any further. Make sure the throttle's not jamming anywhere. It's going to release when we let go of the throttle, etc, etc. So there we go, full throttle. Okay, let the throttle go. Lovely. Exactly what we wanted. Nice one. Oh, that's great. I'm really happy with this. We now have a little little bit over 80 horsepower, so that's up from 50 jumped up to 80. That is very, very pleasing to see. There's that stock one there. Yes. So we've got a an easy 80 horsepower there. And don't bear in mind this bike's still stock standard, apart from an air filter change. It's still running the original exhaust system. Now punching out 80 horsepower. So I suspect with a really good exhaust system fitted to it, we would be looking at well over that. We'd probably get, take a guess, we'd probably get close to 90, I reckon, with a full system and a tune on it. Anyway, all in all, very pleasing result. Very happy with this. So there you go, folks. If you want to de-restrict one of these, there's all the information and the how-to. Thanks for watching. I'm Dave from Dynobike.